Welcome to my WCBL Season 2 Week 9 matchup versus JS, coach of the Wolverhampton Weeviles. Last season, me and him faced off in the semifinals. I lost to him because of a few unlucky burns and a few misplays on my part, which would have made those burns not important. But that's in the past, and hopefully this season I will be able to beat him. And so let us get into the team builder. His team consists of Mega Blastoise. I really do not like Blastoise because whenever I face them, whenever they use Scald, they always magically get the burns every single time. And they're always a problem defensively for me with the mods I usually draft. He has Tapu Koko, Chiron B, Regirock, Decidueye, Arcanine, Crocodile, Elzolf, Lucario, Cypher, and Exploud. Okay, so, tiering wise, Blastoise, good Rapid Spinner, good hazard removal, even though I don't really have the best hazard setters. If he does bring it, it might not have Rapid Spin. It might be an offensive set with that basically stab Dark Pulse with that Mega Launcher ability. Can do a lot, as well as the water typing. Can help. Can wall a good chunk of my mons. Could help wall Mew if I bring, especially if it's special defensively. It hard walls if it's a special defensive variant. Hard walls Primarina, which I had last season, which is what he brought to help deal with that Primarina. It can easily wall Darmanitan. It can wall Flygon, or normal standard sets of Flygon. It can help wall Escavalier. It can help wall Ambipom. It can deal with Mega Bayonet with that Dark Pulse. Zapdos, depending on Zapdos sets, it can somewhat wall those, but not completely out. Usually 2-hit KOs coming from that, or 3-hit KOs. Chestnut, it will have a problem with, but he has other mons that can easily deal with Chestnut. It can wall Lovely Muck, and it can definitely wall Alolan Ninetales. So, definitely bringing that Mega Blastoise from him. If he doesn't bring it, then I will probably have a field day with one of my mons. Next up, Tapu Koko, Electric Drain, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch. I don't have the best switch-ins to electric type moves. My two switch-ins to electric type moves is that Flygon, which is Dragon Ground, which Fairy hits super effectively, and Chestnut, Grass type, but also Fighting type, which also is hit super effectively by Fairy. Luckily, Tapu Koko is not his move user, because then Twinkle Tackle would be doing quite a number on my team. Okay. Next up, more on Tapu Koko, good pivoter. So if I do switch something into it, it might just switch out with that Volt Switch and get into a better mod. Yeah. Next up, Chiron B. Chiron is quite a heavy hitter. It is his Z move user. Ice Dragon. Dragon isn't all that important because it would be only useful for that Flygon, which Ice hits super effectively. But its all-around coverage could be a problem. Could be easily be a special set with which I think it would probably most likely be with Ice Beam and coverage moves such as, it might be a mix set. Probably should have checked. Made this team a while ago, so I don't remember why I had this here. Tyrone Black. Okay, powerful moves. Could launch, be physical with that fusion bolt. Electric would be nice. If it's special, probably might have flash cannon for my fairies. Yeah, could have Shadow Ball for my Ghosted Psychic type, which is Mew and Mega Bayonet. Earth Power, Ground Stab could be for a little Muck. If he is physical, he could be running that ICMC Freeze Shock. Could be running Iron Head, could easily run something like Rock Slide or Stone Edge to hit Zapdos if he's worried about it, or Darmanitan. Trying to think what he might run. Yeah, I think he might run like maybe a mix set, or maybe, yeah, it's really hard to determine what kind of set he would run. If he brings not a mix set and it's physical, then he might also have Roost on it for that healing, because he either physical or special actually could just run 3 attacks and Roost for recovery. Kind of hard to deal with that since it is quite bulky and as well as a physical threat or offensive threat, not just physical. Next up onto the next Tyrann, we have Regirock. I think he will most likely be, because it is quite physically bulky. He helps walls Darmanitan as well as Flygon, physically set Escavalier. Helps wall Ambipom. Can easily hit Zapdos with that Rock Stab. And it is a good rock setter. It could easily run Toxic for my more bulky mons like Mew and Chestnut. Rock Stab also super effective against Alolan Ninetales, which is usually a good lead for me, since my usual leads are either like Alolan Ninetales or Mew for the rocks or the Aurora Veil. Next up, the Decidueye. The Decidueye is a nice defogger, but like I said before, probably won't be running that much hazard removal since I don't really have that good of hazard stackers. But with that Grass Ghost Stab, Ghost hits Mew super effectively, it hits Mega Bayonet super effectively. Also with that taping, it can help wall Primarina, it can help wall Flygon, it can help wall Ambipoms and normal stab. It usually can wall normal Zapdos sets, which usually are special, and their hardest hitting move for a like Decidueye would be Heat Wave. And if he slaps on like an Assault Vest onto that, he can wall some mons. It can also easily wall Chestnut. And yeah, so can be a good wall. Could run Assault Vest to help do more with that Primarina, which is basically one of my main threats on my team to his team. seeing as how he has Crocodile, Arcanine, Regirock, those three defensive Coromons, weak to Water type. Um, Fairy is good for that Chiron Black, as well as Lucario, and I could also run like Ice Beam for that Cypher and the Decidueye. But if I am kind of choice set, he can easily play around that with his Decidueye and other defensive walls like Regirock or Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise takes most of that stab from Primarina. And then we have Arcanine. Why Arcanine is up here is because it is a nice Intimidate user. Helps weaken that my offensive threats such as Darmanitan, Flygon, it's usually a physical attacker, Scavalier, Ambipom, Mega Bayonet, Chestnut, Alolan Muck, and depending on what kind of set he runs, he could help deal with special attackers such as Zapdos and Alolan Ninetales, because they resist both of Alolan Ninetales stabs, and could launch off a nice Wild Charge or Flare Blitz, and has nice priority with that extreme speed. So I would have to worry about that. In these lower tiers, I have Crocodile and Azelf. Both of them really good rockers, could easily replace Regirock as his rocker. Crocodile could give nice Intimidator as well as that Arcanine. It could be, if I see Crocodile, I will have to watch out for like a Scarfed Moxie set with knockoff, maybe Earthquake, Dark Stab. Does do a good chunk to me, except for Primarina and Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Muck. Earthquake can deal with Alolan Muck as well as the Darmanitan. Then not much you can do to Primarina usually, but it could be useful for Mew and Mega Bayonet if you experience those. That's kind of why I don't think he will bring Crocodile, but he might. Once again, I do have those two fairies, and Alolan Ninetales and Primarina, which could do a number 2 dark types and dragon types. Yeah. As well as Chestnut could easily wall it. And yeah. Next up, Azelf has the Levitate ability, which can help deal with Flygon's Earth Stab or Ground Stab with Earthquake. Usually, if he is worried about that Earthquake coming out with his main attacker offensive threats being Tapu Koko with the Electric Stab, or Arcanine if he wants to say switching from the Earthquake. Even though I think the Decidueye and Mega Blastoise can easily take a ground attack from Flygon. Good rocker, good lead-off, knockoff user. Can get the early momentum with U-turn, so he might get that nice Vault Turn core going with his Tapu Koko and Azelf. Kind of why I don't think Azelf will be brought is because I do have Alolan Muck, nice Poison Darks, nice Pursuit Trapper. If he does bring Azelf, might have to worry about me if he does not bring one of these other top 6 instead of to replace Azelf, most likely Regirock, which might not be that much of a problem. He would kind of have to worry about Zapdos then, where basically the only super effective attack would be maybe an Ice Beam from Mega Blastoise or an Ice Beam coming off of that Zekrom. Electric Zapdos could easily do a lot to Mega Blastoise though with that Electric Stab. Too bad Zapdos is not grounded, so it cannot get that Electric Terrain boost set up by Tapu Koko, so he does not have to worry about that. Azelf does give him a nice range of coverage though, because like Mew, Azelf has a large move pool, so you might bring it for unpredictability on that. Next up is Lucario. Quite an offensive threat, can be ran either physically or specially. Especially or physically, not too much worried about it, but on the special side, it does get Dark Pulse, does get Flash Cannon. Might be a mixed set with Bullet Punch for that Alola Ninetales, nice priority there. Yeah, but he would have to worry out if he brings it physically. He has to worry about that Mew burning it, has to worry about that Mega Baynet burning it. So if he does bring it, most likely on the special side, which does not get really any coverage for the Chestnut or the Zapdos or the Wolmuck, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then into our bottom tier, the ones I really don't expect him to bring are that Cypher and that Exploud. Cypher, not that bad of a mon, however, he might, if he does bring it, might have that natural gift, maybe natural gift ground or something for Darmanitan or something to hit Primarina with, maybe natural gift poison. Bug Stab could hit the Mew. That's about it. Flying Stab would be good for Chestnut. And that's about it. So if he brings it, not really much it could do. It would have to specifically be there for one specific mon, maybe two, but not much use against my other mons, unless it does have that natural gift, but then it won't have the Eviolite, so it won't be as bulky and can be easily killed. And then Exploud, if he brings Exploud, then maybe he's bringing a slower team, expecting me to bring like a Trick Room set, since he does have that fast, not really that fast of a team. He does have Tapu Koko hitting 130. Azelf is 115, and I don't remember what set for is, but I think it's like 108 or something like that. Something high. Let me look that up. Cypher. Don't really use Cypher. 105. Yeah. So he might be worried about a slow Trick Room team I might bring. So he might bring Exploud, which is one of his slower mons, but I think Regirock and Mega Blastoise are good enough if he is expecting me to bring Trick Room to help deal with that, with them being quite slow and bulky to take attacks. Exploud, if he brings it, most likely probably Specs. Specs Boomburst could do a number on my team. My best switching would be Escavalier, which can be dealt with with a fire move from the Arcanine, and so on and so on. Okay, so we're getting into my team. First off, I have my Season 2 Mew. Enough speed, hitting 290 to outspeed Kyron Black if it is 252 invested in speed, but not a speed boost in nature and not scarfed, so that I could possibly burn him. I'm not expecting a scarf is maybe a Z move for that freeze shock on Kyron, and if he is jolly, I don't have to worry about that extra attacking from a adamant nature or a modest nature. If he is scarfed and some kind of attacking or adamant or modest, then I will know what he is locked into, so I will have to check the damage calc on Kyron Black to see what kind of set it is, and I will be trying to see if it is scarfed or not, or Z Crystal. Will-O-Wisp can be handy for that Regirock and the Kyron Beat. The Crocodile, the Azelf is sometimes run physically, Lucario, and the Cypher. Ice Beam is Bolt Beam coverage is nice. It hits Blastoise. It's in electric terrain. Thunderbolt will be nice for that Tapu Koko. Ice Beam can hit Kyron neutrally. Electric hits Regirock neutrally, I believe. It can electric hits Arcanine neutrally. Ice Beam super effective against Crocodile. Bolt Beam both hits the Azelf neutrally. Thunderbolt hits Cypher for super effective, as well as Ice Beam for 4 times super effective. Rocks are nice because they will do the chip that I need so that one of my later plans can work. With Mew will always be outspeeding a Mega Blastoise. If it is special Kyron Black, then with this HP investment, can easily take a hit from a special Kyron. Yeah. Mainly my physical bulk. And then moving on to my Zapdos. A somewhat supportive Zapdos. Enough speed to outspeed Mega Blastoise, just enough. Enough HP into almost maxed HP for the bulk. Enough special attack to be able to hit KO a Mega Blastoise and any set of Mega Blastoise. If it is an offensive Mega Blastoise, there's enough stuff in there to survive 2 hits from that, and I can 2-hit KO it back. If it is especially defensive, then it won't have that attack investment for that Ice Beam. It could easily run Toxic, but I will be able to out-damage Blastoise and take it out with the set with the Thunderbolt if I want to, even though I won't be getting an electric terrain boost from that Tapu Koko. U-turn is there for momentum, because if he does decide to bring Crocodile, which he very well can instead of that Regirock, to take electric moves from my Zapdos, I want to get Tailwind up and U-turn up there for free. Nothing can stop me from turning out and get into more of an offensive threat. Named Mon, which is nice. Thunderbolt, like I said, hits Mega Blastoise, hits the Cypher. Hit Heat Wave is there to help deal with that Decidueye, which can take my electric stab quite easily. And can help deal with Lucario if it decides to bring it. Most of the time I will just be trying to set up Tailwind and you turn it into a more offensive mon, such as my Primarina Valkyrie. Valkyrie has enough speed to outspeed his entire team under Tailwind. I want to say it outspeeds Scarfed Chiron Black, but let me just double check that math. Scarfed Chiron B at max hits 475. And I need 238 to outspeed it. No, I don't have enough speed to outspeed it. If it is Scarfed Jolly, or Jolly or Timid or whatever speed boosting, but then it won't have that much damage output. I will be able to outspeed it like an Adamant or a Monoset. So that is nice if he brings an Adamant or Monoset or non-speed boosting nature Scarfed. I can outspeed that into Trick Room with my Primarina. Energy Ball can depend on the Blastoise set to hit KO, which is nice. It can also help me scout out what kind of set Blastoise is, because that's most likely going to be his switching to my Primarina. If that is not his switching, then it would most likely be that Decidueye. And yeah, Ice Beam for the Decidueye, so can deal with either of its switch-ins, or at least get some good damage off onto them and see what kind of set they are. Hydro Pump is nice stab for that Tapu Koko, for that Regirock, for that Arcanine, for that I just said it's a Crocodile. Yeah. And Fairy Stab is a nice safe move to hit any of the intended switch-ins for that Mega Blastoise or Decidueye. If I don't know which one's going to come in on it, could just click Moonblast. Moonblast is also nice for the Lucario as well as the Chiron Black. Max special attack. I don't remember specifically what this does against. It will be able to knock out a non-defensive Chiron Black. If Chiron Black is like an Assault Dust, after rocks, it will take it out if it is non-defensive but just Assault Dust. Has a 62.5% chance until max HP Chiron Black against Mega Blastoise. A non-defensive set, 62.5% chance to knock out with Energy Ball against it. So if it switches in on like a Moonblast, which does like 75% damage to non-defensive Mega Blastoise, I can easily take it out. If it is Max Special Bulk. It is a guaranteed 2-hit KO with Energy Ball after Stealth Rocks. I think that it's just Energy Ball. It might be a roll with a Moonblast Energy Ball against a especially defensive Mega Blastoise. Against a Decidueye. Ice Beam KO. That is non-defensive set. I'm expecting him to bring defensive set, maybe. Max HP, no speed, max attack, Assault Vest. Ice Beam will still kill it. Never mind. Oh wait, no, that's some other calc. Max HP, Assault Vest, Ice Beam is a 2-hit KO, but it cannot be 2-hit KO. If I hit it first with a Moonblast, then Ice Beam. I think it's a roll. And it can take me out with a blade. So easily be able to beat that. Not many other switch-ins for my Primarina otherwise. Yeah. As well as what I am going to try and do this time is I do have this Focus Sash Ambipom with Nasty Pot, Thunderbolt, Water Pulse, Baton Pass. Enough speed to outspeed all except Tapu Koko and Scarpers. Could speed tied with that Azolf. Yeah, so this week I am bringing a special Ambipom with Nasty Pot, but I can easily baton pass that to my Primarina, to my Zapdos, to my Mew, which are all special attackers, and could put a lot of hurt onto his team if he is not expecting this Nasty Pot baton pass. Thunderbolt. I don't remember what this does exactly to a Mega Blast. Oh, well, against does nothing to a defensive Decidueye or a non-defensive Decidueye. But that is kind of what I'm hoping to do. He might be expecting like a fake out lead with this Ambipom. And might try and bring in his Decidueye to take the hit or any other normal stab. And then that is when I will go for the Nasty Plot. And then I could possibly hit the Baton passed out, or I might just wait for that to go away, and then to a Mega Blastoise, non-defensive, at +2, Thunderbolt does not KO at, but it will be able to get to hit KO, and it can easily be like a late game super with that Nasty Pot. Might not go for Water Pulse, but that is useful for the Crocodile, for the Arcanine, for the Regirock. If his Decidueye is gone, depending on how I play this and save Ambipom for later, his most likely switch in will be Arcanine with that Intimidate if he expects a physical Ambipom, and then I could get that nasty plot up, and then hit it with the water pulse, doing a hell of a lot of damage. Yeah. A bit worried about Decidueye and Chiron Black though for it, but then I could just easily Baton Pass out. So far in my previous sets, I've run some kind of garbage move to help deal with my opponent's Dragon type. So you might be expecting that, so might not bring in that Chiron Black against it to maybe set up with it, or any other mon might not bring in the Tapu Koko. Yeah. Might try and hard wall this on with Decidueye and Swords Dancing Decidueye or something like that. Yeah. And I can, for the main event of this, is to Baton Pass that nasty plot into Darude my Flygon. This time, not physical. It is fully special. Enough speed to outspeed a max speed Chiron Black without a scarf. Tailwind for that its own support to outspeed Tapu Koko. At +2, it is going to demolish basically his entire team, except maybe Salt Vestmon. His best check would be a specially defensive Blastoise, but at +2, max HP, max special defense. Grassium Z Solar Beam is one-shotting his Mega Blastoise. The only other reason Solar Beam would be used is possibly against that Crocodile, because Earth Power does hit that Regirock for a lot of damage. Earth Power hits that Tapu Koko for a lot, and hits the Lucario for a lot. Will be able to one-shot that X-Cloud. Dragon Pulse will be able to take out Eviolite Offensive Cypher after rocks. Only real worry would be the Decidueye and the Azelf. Could take a hit, but they cannot one-shot me, so I will not have to worry about that. And yeah, so hopefully he is not expecting the heat of Special Flygon with that Grassium Z Solar Beam for that Bloom Doom. Might bring, this is also why I think he might bring Crocodile for that Intimidate on my Flygon. So Dragon in ground cannot, Stab cannot do a lot to Crocodile, and there is offensively the best move for Crocodile I have is U-turn, I believe. Flygon does not get Aqua Tail if I remember correctly. Yeah, kind of wish it did get Aqua Tail. That'd be so lit. Yeah. And then, last but not least, following with my theme of special attackers, I have basically a specially attacking Alolan Muck, which is a bit crazy. I know it's about a bit weird and not very conventional. Acid Armor, max HP, or not max HP, almost max HP, max def. I could pass special attack into this, but it can also be a helper to the rest of my team with the Acid Spray, which is 100% chance to lower my opponent's special defense by 2, which means I can easily go into one of my special attackers, and like my Flygon without the special attacking boost from Nasty Plot, and I can launch off that Racium's Solar Beam against a Spadef Blastoise. Yeah. It can help put a specially defensive Regirock into KO range from my other mons as well. Flamethrower is for Lucario, which resists my Poison Stab, and if I believe Lucario gets justified, where if it gets hit by a dark type, its attack goes up. So wouldn't want to hit it with that if he does bring it with the knockoff. So yeah, Acid Armor could help me get defensive boosts I need to help stall out Earthquakes from Regirocks. Earthquake. Kirby does get Earthquake, right? I'm not crazy. Because when I was looking at it a while ago, I didn't see Earthquake, but yeah, it doesn't get Earthquake. What? It could help me take an Outrage from Kirby if it is physical, but like I said, most likely special with Ice Beam, with Earth Power, with Flash Cannon. Yeah. And Guava Berry is a special defensive berry. With Gluttony at half health, I will regain 50% of my HP. And hopefully it will sum things off. Nice knockoff user could knock off an Assault Vest on some of these mons. And yeah. So going in, his leads are most likely going to be Regirock also for Crocodile. Could lead off with Tapu Koko if he is expecting me to predict one of those to be his Stealth Rockers and go for the nice Volt turn on Primarino, which is a good counter to his possible leads. No Shadow Ball, even though it could be useful for Azulf. Yeah. I would have to worry. It can also be a nice... Aloma could be a nice switch into Toxics coming off of defensive mons such as that Mega Blastoise or maybe Decidueye if it's defensive for Regirock. If he is not running Earthquake on that Regirock and is just running like Rocks, Toxic, and maybe like Stone Edge. Yeah. So that is my team going into this battle. Hopefully I will be able to catch him off guard, and hopefully he doesn't bring like some special wall that I just don't beat. Because this is kind of like putting all my eggs into one basket, especially defensive mons, such as Mega Blastoise, maybe his Arcanine. If I cannot take them out, then my team will struggle. But if I can clear them out early, then hopefully this will have a field day with his mons. So catch me in this week's battle, which will be going up shortly after this team builder, or maybe the following day. Bye bye.